Morning, folks. So I turned 30 this year, right? And I have a personal travel goal that I complete 30 countries by the time I'm 30. And I wanted to kind of, okay, let's plan a vacation. I have a few countries left. And what I did, like all of us, okay, I visited a few sites, got a few ideas saying what countries can I knock off. And then with a few more sites, kind of got a little more detail about the plan, kind of put things in place. And then visit some more sites where then I kind of go and book a lot of these things we have to do. And in the end, I still don't have a very clear tool to manage this entire vacation, right? And this entire process, right, I've kind of feel very, it's cumbersome because the entire process is fragmented. And even data shows that people hop 38 sites before they actually put together a plan that kind of fits their taste, right? And despite all of this, despite all this hard work, you're still not sure if you've got the best room, if the supplier you've chosen is the best guy, of the overall experience when you're in destination, it's still not clear, right? What if there was a platform, right, where you could take away the fragmentation of search, where you could take away the cumbersome booking process, where you could find an itinerary which is completely personalized to your taste, and that also helps you book and manage your vacation, right? Whoa, that sounds fancy, right? That's what we wanted to build when we started as travelers ourselves. And that was the reason they had for Veho, right? So Veho, what it does, it picks up traveler interests, right, and builds an algorithm real time and an itinerary for your taste. Once the itinerary is built, it lets you customize it further, small tweaks like room changes, change in activity, and finally lets you get a cost and book it real time, right? And once that's done, we give you a mobile app, which kind of helps you manage the overall experience. I'd like to kind of take you through the demo, right? So we currently launched for Bali and Hong Kong. We're adding more markets, right? So once you choose a location, what happens is we start off understanding your themes. What are the broad motivators for this vacation? What is it? It's going to be couples. It's going to be like what kind of themes you have. Once you've chosen a few themes, we kind of then ask a little bit more details. What are your interests? Is it surfing? Do you want to do a cruise? Do you want to kind of see monuments, attractions, right? This is where we kind of gather data. We also gather data like how long it is, what's the kind of group. And then we lay our matching algorithm on top of it to show you a few itineraries with a clear matching score, right? And a summary view. Once you think you like one itinerary, you can go into that itinerary. And once you have the itinerary view, that kind of gives you details of what exactly are you doing. For example, you selected a cruise and you find a cruise there, right? If you don't like that cruise, you could change that, right? And we give related activities basis again your interest and themes, right? This is all fetched real time through our API partnerships. And then you can change an activity if you like. The idea is to give the entire control, the joy of planning your vacation, but still give you access to all content in one place, right? And once you think, okay, I've made a few tweaks, I think broadly details are in place, you can add a day, right? We said 6, but you want to do it 7 now, right? You can do that. And we've come up with a concept called sister cities, broadly small cities which don't differ too much, but your friend went and recommended that city, you could choose that as well. Once you've done that, right, you've saved your itinerary, boom, that's when the magic starts. Wherein, at a click of a button, we talk to multiple API partners and get you costing and availability real time, right? You don't have to wait the current process. You do a code, you customize, wait 24 hours, 48 hours, boss, 12 o'clock, night, no way. You have time at 12 in the night, you can do it 12 in the night. You get a costing real time. And what you've done with the costing screen is that, broadly, we've understood that customers want a cost breaker for 2 reasons. One is that the trust factor, obviously, with the travel agent, but more importantly, value for money. Am I spending the maximum amount of money in things I want to do? That's what you've tried doing by bucketing all your costs. And even now, let's say you don't want to do flights, you want to remove flights, you have points, you're free to do that, you can remove that. Once that's done, you book and we kind of step in. Once you're in the platform, you've booked with us, then there's a CRM at the back end which kind of manages the entire sales cycle for us, and you have a login created for you on the app. On the app, what you have is basically you log in, there are 2 views to it. One is a day-wise itinerary view, what you're doing, all that you get in the app. The next view is the booking view. It summarizes all your bookings, right, of what you're doing, where you're flying, what your PNRs, what rooms you have. And we also have a section which gives you interests, like top places to see. You've not had time to do research. You can read it quickly in the flight when you're flying there. But the most important feature people really loved is the chat application, in-app chat, right? People who have helped you plan your vacation are available on chat for you right there. You want to arrange a surprise, you want to upgrade your car, you want to do any of that, there are people actually helping you real time. So the idea is you have the fun of planning, you're doing everything at your own pace and style, but still there's some safety net right there for you. That's the broad reason. And why we think Veho has worked for us, Veho has been built ground up with customer feedback, not with APIs. We didn't start with APIs. We started with customers, customer feedback, and then built feature by feature. And the customer is talking about is that over the last 2 years, we've had 1,000 plus vacations that we have crafted, right, with a 60% repeat in referral business. And currently we're at a 2 million annual run rate, growing 100% year on year. And how far can this get? The free independent segment, which people like us, it is touted to be about $8 billion by 2020 just out of India, right? I'm just talking Indian outbound currently. And it's growing 20% year on year. And the business model is quite simple. We have supplier commissions, we have fees from customers, and we're looking at a SaaS model where we are giving it to agents. Our team, we are travelers starting with me and Srinath. We travel about 35 countries. We have our Sushman is from IIT Madras, VP Engineering. And Dragons, why we think you should look at PickYourTrail. Hey, there's a very clear team which has built scalable business before. We are operating in a market where there's very clear headroom for growth. We are very focused on profitability, and we think there's great scope for growth. Yeah.
Nicely done. Thanks. Step into the Dragon's Den. Well done, young man. 30 years old, ready to take over the world. Dragons, what do you think?
So, Hari, I've been going to Phocuswright conferences for, I think, now 7-8 years. And I have seen so many companies present on the whole trip planning and trip discovery. But nobody has succeeded yet. It doesn't seem like there is a company that's really come out, which is an outlier. So, I think you're going after that same space. So I want to ask you, why do you think that is, that so many people have attempted and haven't succeeded, and what makes you believe that you would succeed?
Thanks a lot. I think it's a lot of people have the question. I'll take the 2 minutes to answer this. So broadly, I think what's happening is when you just do trip planning, you really don't know when the guy's booking, right? And how many other trips you create, there's no viable business model out of that. You build algorithms, you build technology, you can do B2B partnerships. But to build a consumer-focused brand, you need to be having that touch when he's booking. That's when you build recall, that's when you build stickiness, when you build loyalty, right? And that's the key reason we're very clear that we have execution. The API, aggregations, real-time cost is to help you move from, okay, hey, I have a trip, I've planned it, right? But now, how do I book it? It's still difficult, right? A lot of these trip planning sites, they say you could do 10 things in one day. Fair enough, it takes 30 minutes. Google Maps gives you 2 minutes from point A to point B. But is it executable? The fact that we take the ownership of execution also means an itinerary is executable, right? You won't be given 10 things to do in a day without thinking how will you go from point A to point B. So one is the execution piece. Next is the piece of cost. Real time, you get a pricing. This guy has managed to do not just give me an awesome itinerary, but also giving me a price which is online prices. So why not complete my transaction here?
So when you say execution, is it automated or is there manual intervention? Do you have sort of agents that would enable the execution as well?
So we execute. Last 2 years, we are the ones executing. So we are the brand.
You mean?
Yes. No, in the sense, we manage your vacation, right? But the booking now happens through APIs, real time. So booking happens through APIs. It's a touch plus tech model where your discovery, your planning, your booking is through tech. But let's say you have real time, you want to upgrade or you want to do all of that, it's still through some bit of touch. Because it's a 2 lakh, we do only outbound, it's like 1.5 lakh, people want to be reassured, there's visas, there's so many other things which kind of, people want to talk and just be, okay, yeah, I'm doing the right thing.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, we've spoken about this. I just love the market, and thank you for getting me to the Cricket World Cup and back. So I've used the service. My only question, and it remains before, I just love the service way too much because it was just massively personalized. My question is, how do you scale it? With that level of personalization, because here the guy is coming in and spending like 2 lakhs, $150,000. He's buying between a car and a high-end television, and I just don't find a way. And it's a complex product; it's not at standard, right? I mean, he needs that guidance. He needs to, he needs that hand-holding, right? And here you're just completely doing it in a, through tech. How do you solve for this? How do you scale something like this?
So let's take an example, right? So what exactly?
And it's very personalized. I mean, it's really personalized. My trip will be very different than Banu's trip.
Correct, but when you say personalization, there are 2 things. One is the fact that you talk to somebody, that's one part of personalization. Second thing is I see what I want. That's the second. So I think we are doing tech for the second part, where we're saying, hey, you get what you are. You want cruise, you want golf. The itinerary talks about that. Hey, these guys know me well enough. And over a period of time, we have enough clusters to say the next Raghav coming in will like these 3 things. That's where tech is. We're still saying there will be some amount of touch wherein there is visa. There's so much reassurance that's needed. So it's just not that we just say, boom, everything goes online and you just, hey, we're not there, accessible for you, we're not Uber, right? But some sense, I think, given it's an involved purchase, till the market matures to a certain level, now people buy 25,000, 30,000 worth jewelry online, till it moves that model, I think we have to handle customers there.
All righty, we're going to cover right there. Great job, Harry.
Thanks
nice job.
Guys.
Give him a round of applause.